Hey.
This is dangerous. You're not gonna choke, but you're gonna hurt yourself somehow. You put it in the box. You put this in the box. Do it again. Into the box.
Hello, agent of chaos. Hey. You're not used to being on that side of the table, are you? Figure out what to work on. Lots of things I'm not happy with. I think mostly having to do with indices. So in the app I'm writing, I'm setting up these persistent stores, and I have a method that kind of keeps it all in one place. So for instance, for episodes, it's all managed by this persisted episode type. And I have to kind of specify, hey, I want this to be indexed by the series ID, so I can get all the episodes for a given series very efficiently. But I have to like define it in this really obtuse way. Like this and like this. And like this. And it's not really that great of an experience, I think. So I want to find an alternative way of representing that. So that way, from an API point of view, anyone who's using CodableDatastore can have an easier time managing that.
What's not? Like, is it because it looks ugly? I mean, the code looks pretty simple. Like,
It's easy to make a mistake. If I misspell this and it doesn't match this,
You don't want any strings. You just want to.
I want to define it in one place and have that be like the de facto representation.
Can't you do that?
Not with this current code. So I need to rewrite stuff to make that happen. So.
What did I learn before that you can replace strings with, like, do you declare like a enum or something like that, and then that way you type it all in one place at the top, and then you just
Yeah,
use
but
those.
notice how many times the same thing is defined, but in different enums.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't want that. It's too many.
Okay, and it's gonna be confusing.
Yeah. Not to mention, like, this data store type has like all these generics attached to it, and that's really complicated. So
Isn't generic good? Don't people like generics? I mean,
No.
Like, don't people strive to make everything generic?
I don't think people like them. They cause a lot of complication.
But people do use generics a lot, don't they?
Yeah.
Sesame, she's eating a plastic bag.
She's hungry. It's food time, that's why. Do you want to leave Niece with me and then you can go feed them?
Oh, it's time to feed the cats. I forgot.
Yeah, they're hungry.
I have to also feed my little baby who's hiccuping right now.
Yeah. Hiccup.
Hey. Normally I'd give you the remote to play with, but right now I can't.
No, if you change that, that's bad news for me.
Bad news? Bad news. Are we live right now?
We are.
We live? I like that.
Okay, so let's dig into how these indices work.
Hello, cat.
Okay, so the index has a name and a type. And I think that's used for evaluation to see if things change underneath it.
No, then, yeah.
And these index paths return an indexed. Yeah, rather than marking these, I guess we can mark those. So I'm marking indexes with these property wrappers, but that means I can't use a struct for anything else, which is kind of impractical. That said, even in the app itself, if I were to switch to it. No, so I have a struct called episode, and I share this with the app. This is the backend. The backend needs to save it to a database type thing, and I don't want the backend or the app to need to deal with the database stuff. Like, those are two separate things. But the way I have it set up is the database has this wrapper type called item, and then it is going and declaring these indexes. That said, I have to declare them in this wonky way with some indexed, and then I have to wrap them, and it's overall like not that great of a like setup. There's a lot of boilerplate, which I'm unhappy with.
And why did it end up like this?
Because I was writing this database without an app to go along with it.
Oh, okay.
So now that I have an app to go along to use it, I'm like changing my mind on how things should be put together.
Now, why should it matter? No one's gonna look at your code. I mean, as long as the app works, right?
Yeah, so some parts don't work. So for instance, for series, up until now, I've just been using a JSON file, which is not what I wanted to ship with, which is why I'm switching over to something more robust. But a series has a universe index and a season index. But if we look at the series type, it can be part of multiple seasons, and I want it to show up for each of those different seasons.
Yeah.
And that ain't happening with the current setup, so I need to fix that. Anyways, go chase the crawling cat. The talking cat is running away. Hi, Chelsea. There are no major mask debates to be had here, unfortunately. Just lots of code. Coding debates. The better kind. Can you hear me, by the way? I don't even know if audio works. I usually stream in the middle of the night with the mic disabled. Okay, let's tear this up because I'm not happy with it. Awesome. Okay, so let's say I have a type that I want to save in a database. It has an ID. And it has a name. And I want to index on this name. So let's define another struct called test. Test indexes. Okay. Here is where the fun begins. So I'll probably have these static methods. Let's have this be an enum. Will it be? Yeah, they will be static. And let's just call this one name, for lack of a better thing. And this is going to return something. I don't know what yet, so let's just put a string. And then if we have some sort of data store thing, we want to have a function that can take the index and give back a test type. So retrieve index of type. Yeah, so it's not really that, is it? I guess a key path, no, I guess a key path would work. Would a key path work? I don't know. I just need to try it, I guess. Test indices. Yeah, this should return one of those types. Okay, I'll return back to that. But I wanted to have this signature. Okay, so let's just say this is how it's going to work, and if it succeeds, it just returns that. Okay, this is going to need a change because it needs to be specific to this type, but also it needs to have enough information to return a proper index. So let's say we have a generic type called data store index, and this takes a generic T. Okay, I'm liking this a little better, I think. Struct. Okay, so this has to be type T, returns T. And then I guess this doesn't need to actually work, so fatal error. Okay, we just want to make the type system work. So, given this, it is true. Code is very magical in that respect. Gotta come up with just the right incantation that one satisfies the compiler and two actually does the thing you want it to do, which feels near impossible sometimes. Okay, so this index type, again, we want it to have some information. Okay, this is what I currently have, which feels like a bunch of gobbledygook that I don't like. Okay, it has a type. It has a name. And then there's an index path too. Yeah, so this has the name and a key path. of these has what? Store index. Does the value matter? So this returns one of these things, which I guess I was using, but maybe I don't care about that. I mean, what do I need out of the index? Okay, let's just assume that I might need a key path, but I don't really. Yeah, because that information is gotten rid of. Okay. For now, that gives us something. Name. And then this indexable thing. This is where additional information, like the type is. Okay, so that's what I need out of this index. Because with that, I can do something. I don't remember what though. Let's dig into that a little bit more. So I had it so that way anything that was marked would automatically get an index. And I guess that's fine. Okay, I'm starting to remember why I did it this way, and I think it might have been the best idea I had. It's never a good sign. Go in wanting to rewrite something only to realize why you wrote it in the first place. Yeah, I do want the value because loading from an index, you're basically saying, hey, I want everything ordered by the name, and there's 10 million things in that database. But I am only interested in values that start with A. So we do need the value. And this value is going to be, so let's give these names. So we have the item and we have the value. So we are returning an item given a value. So the index does need to have an item and a value. Thank you, Dan. The joy of coding with cats is they go right behind your computer's exhaust and warm it up nice and toasty for you. Okay, so this key path can actually be something. Okay, that means we don't need that. Yeah, we just really need the name. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. So we have a let datastore equals a new one of these, and then we should be able to say datastore dot retrieve, and then we need an index, a value that matches that index. Okay, so I would love to be able to say dot and then be able to specify something here. So how can we make that work? Okay, so we have test indices. Okay, so maybe what we want here, so we want one of these. Name, okay, so this is test type, and the value is string. Actually, I guess we can do it this way, key path. So okay, so that's typed correctly. So we can ostensibly say dot name, and then here this has to now be a string. And then let value equals, or let item is, okay, so this is semi-working. I don't want to type this. I want that to just be something you can say, hey, I want the name. So how can we do that? We can probably say key path of indices that returns let's bring back the old one. Okay, and that returns one of those crazy things. So now the index is going to be that. I guess that works. Yeah, it's not the worst. Yeah, it does mean things can be organized in wonky ways. For instance, I can say I don't think I like that. I guess that works. That fails. But that means this has to be concrete. And that's because this is concrete. If we say... If we say that, then if that's static, okay. But that's not allowed. Autocomplete is happy with it. It's like, yeah, go ahead and use this thing. Okay, what if we don't have that? What if we just have... But then this is not happy because the types don't match. I mean, what we really need is it to return one of these, but then for this to have one of these be part of it. So this unfortunately needs to be more complicated, so we need to have okay, let's expand this further. So we have an index protocol. Index collection protocol, sure. It has two associated types. There's an item, and there is a value. But the value's gonna be different every time. Value's gonna be different. So that's not an associated type. Okay, let's just start with item and see how far we get. Okay, so if this conforms to that, then all we really need is a data store index, and this will return a data store index that's keyed to, I forgot what this was. Okay, it's keyed to the item. And a value, but the value is part of the thing that this is, because these can all have different values, so I don't think this is going to work either. Yeah, because we want that value to inform what this thing is. And if each of these okay, so we have two different types. We want to be able to represent both of these different indices using the same generic method. For that to work, we need to go ahead and make sure that we have a type that when passed here, we can extract the value from it. So each one of these needs to be quote-unquote unique. And for those to be unique, it needs to be something that is already configured. However, if we were to pass this thing in, let's say it needs to conform to this protocol. That means that it's going to be locked to an item, which is what we want. We do want this to be locked to an item, so yeah, that means we can get rid of this because it is always tied to this dot item. Okay, it's a bit simpler, but this value needs to come from the specific one that's passed in here. Okay, the specific one. So I guess it can have a value, right? Because we have a bunch of static properties. What if this was tagged to an item, right? And then here we have the collection of indices. This is going to be index.value, and this is going to be item where indexes.item equals item. Okay, so in this world, this has what it needs. Again, I guess this has to be a concrete index. Which means that this static let, what we're really doing let me finish this. Value. I mean, it can just be a thing. Okay. Excuse me. Let's give it a basic initializer. all we really need is this can have a generic value. It is tied to a specific type. And then when we create one, we're basically saying that this, we're initializing it with this. Cannot convert value of type to expected. Static stored properties are not supported in generic types. I guess that makes sense. So let's move this to extension. I guess it needs to not be. I'm starting not to like this already. Test indices. Okay. Why is this not happy? Cannot convert return value of type. Maybe we can store it now. Static sort properties are not supported in generic types. Okay, does it have to be generic? Oh, it's really not happy if it's not generic. Okay, so let's just go along with this for a moment and see how far we can get. This needs an explicit type. Sure. Okay, I guess this can now live with this. Sure. Okay, so we have name and we have age. Okay, that's complaining because this needs to be an int and this needs to be an int. I guess that doesn't work. No, this one needs to. Okay, there's some wonkiness going on there, but if we were to try it out, okay, this is not going to be test type. Oh, Then I'm back to needing to say name. Oh, that's not great. And also, why is it not happy about the generic? So this is giving us back a thing with string. Okay, it's right here. Okay, we have an index. That's of this protocol. Whatever type the index has, we want this to be the value. So let's rename these to be a little more clear. Oh, I know. It's probably because I put these together. Struct tests indexes string. This is already turning into something I don't think is that great. Oh, whoops. That might have worked if I typed the wrong thing. Typed the right thing. Extension. Okay. This seems like I'll need to define it myself. Okay, now maybe I can get rid of these. Can't. Dare I do this? I can. Okay, already better. Let's clear some of this up. Okay, and then that works. That does not. Okay, so given an index, but it wouldn't know what this index is. So maybe we can define it ahead of time. Okay, so you have an index protocol. I might be able to simplify that further, but let's just... forcing me to make a decision here, but let's just see how far this lets us get. Okay, so now do we need to have? Okay, so now we can specify anything, but we have to specify the type. Okay. Because the type information needs to be known at compile time. So I want, what do I want? This, can this be any? Okay, but if it's any, that doesn't work anymore. Member chain produces results of type string, but contextual base was inferred as okay, I'm just trying random stuff at this point because I don't honestly understand exactly what it's not happy about. I mean, I kind of do. This type needs a concrete type for the type in the index, for the item in the index. The index needs to be something specific. If I don't want it to be generic, then I can get rid of that thing. However, by doing that, this would have to carry that information in some way. And if this does not return one of these, then we can't use this dot syntax. So, what's a good way around this convoluted set of requirements? Because as you use this, you're gonna end up typing this thing a lot. So I would rather just type a dot and get a completion. Like, hey, I want the name. But for this to work, this needs to carry some information. Now, okay, maybe there's a way to do this. That was loud. Okay, let's keep the value there. Let's go ahead and put the meta type here. Does the meta type work? No, the meta type needs to specify what it is. Yeah, that makes it difficult because we don't want to specify every variant. It's kind of hard because one half we want to throw away this type information, and the other half we want to keep it, which is how I ended up with this messy solution on the right. Or not this one, but I think this thing. Yeah, where you have any index and some indexed. It's definitely not smooth. I guess. Guess that's not a bad way to do it, right? But we would want most of that to be taken care of for you as a user using this. Okay, let's go over this one more time. We want to have, for this method, we want to have this known ahead of time. This allows us to do dot and get something. That has to match this type, which conforms to this protocol, which ostensibly should be able to provide extra information. Now, that type thanks for hanging out. Hopefully it's not going to rain too much. It's been pouring nonstop here. Okay. How do I want to do this? So this needs to return itself, basically. Now, yeah, and that thing that it returns. Yeah, I'll probably be here for another hour, and then the baby needs to sleep, so I need to shut up at that point. But yeah, I'll see you in Discord if not. Take care. Yada? About? A towel time? Yeah, I don't think that's possible. There's not enough pieces to this puzzle to make it work. Which sucks. Oh. Okay. If I can't do it this way, because it seems like it might be impossible to do what I want, because I need this to give me a value thing. It needs to be different from another one of these value things, so this index really needs to be specified here. But then that doesn't help. if it's specified there, because then I don't have any tie-in to get the automatic dot syntax because you don't know which index we're working with. I guess the alternative is item can have, but then it's going to need a specific index. Because of how the type information works. Ironically enough, I think the only thing that might be able to help is the silly key path syntax. But if we use key path syntax, that allows us to get the value then and there. I mean, let's try it. Okay, so given this key path, return another key path with the value that matches this. I mean, why not, right? Okay, so given this key path, return another key path. But then that's not going to make it happy. So if that doesn't work, let's simplify. These don't need to be static anymore. And they can directly be these things. Don't need a value because this has that information, and then this just needs to deal with that. Right? Okay, then we don't need any of this. we don't need that either. Here, let's go ahead and have an item. And then that can extension Okay, so this is going to be, I've typed that, string, I'm not liking this already, but let's see where it takes us. Okay, at the very least we don't need to define that anymore. Okay, so now we have an index type. Okay, the index type has to conform to that protocol, so that way we can say index.item equals item. Okay. Now, we don't care about that result, but we do care about having a value. We are looking into the index for a data store index, and this can give us different index types, so I'm kind of liking it so far. This has to be item and value, and the result is just going to be a value, and we already have this requirement. Okay, that means hey, niece. Oh, you're gonna come on camera? It's your decision.
No, we're not gonna be on camera.
You're the one crawling towards me.
No, we're not gonna be on camera. We're gonna be next to you.
Next to camera adjacent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kittens right there.
Oh.
Smack the tuntun. Smack the cat.
Cat. Okay, you want to load this? Here you go. You want to come down here? Let's come down here.
Okay. So, I guess we can just type aliases. And then these can be equal. Now they're stored. Okay. What's it complaining about? Okay, I don't know what's going on there. Oh, I still had that declared. Where are we going? We're coming on camera after all.
No, but not gonna be
No camera time for you.
You can decide when you're older.
Get that, yeah. Okay. Take two. That's specifying. Oh, look at that. And if I were to put item 2, age, that complains, but if I put number there, then that works. Okay, is this noticeably better or worse than what I had? I don't see the point of this. So we can probably get rid of it. Is there any point to the marker protocol? No. It's like, sure, I have to specify that part, but it's not the end of the world. No, why is it not working? Don't care about that anymore. Okay, so this seems to work, but I lose out on a few things. One, I would have to always specify all my indices, which maybe I didn't need to do. So if we take a look at the actual code, take this series for instance. Maybe I didn't need to specify these I kind of did. could just get I can get a bogus value and a bogus key, no problem. But if I want them to be tied together in any way, then it's not going to work.
What's the conundrum? Maybe I can. Just kidding.
It's a big conundrum. I don't want to type this, this, and this. So, messing around. I lost it. Oh, wrong project. That's fine. So messing around, I came up.
Re-explain what the problem is.
From 0.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm writing a database.
I got that part.
Did you know? A database is a collection of potentially millions of items, and sometimes you want an easy way to get to a specific one, but you don't know which one. For instance, if I had, let me bring something useful up. Okay, if I had a million one of these test types, they all have an ID, a name, and an age, and I wanted all the ones that were age 3. I want a method where I can say, hey, database, give me all the things where the age is 3. And it would do its magic in the background to give me the results. This is called an index. Now, for a database to work, it needs to know which indexes exist ahead of time. Otherwise, it won't be able to do the magic machinery in the background to make those indexes exist and calculate ahead of time where to place everything, so that way if you ask for 3, it knows what to give you back. Does that make sense so far?
Why does it need to know ahead of time? It won't just like...
Well, we don't want it to look through millions of records. We want it to look through just the right amount of records to give you a result fast. Say there's only 3 things with an age of 3. We don't want it to go through all million to find those 3. We want it to just know where those 3 things are.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And for it to do that, it needs to build an index ahead of time. And the index is like the index at the back of a book where like you look up a word and it tells you which pages they are on.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's the basic problem. Now, I want that to be as easy as possible. Namely, for you to be able to specify, hey, which index are you interested in and what the value that you want to match is. This kind of works, this setup that I have, where you define all the indexes in this type, and then you can just call them up. However, it loses an automaticness of the previous setup where you can just go ahead and say at indexed, and now this thing is automatically indexed. Does that make sense?
No, I don't understand what that means. At index and it's automatically indexed.
Yeah, so I wrote up some magic where if you mark something with this property wrapper, it will go ahead at the beginning of setup time and figure out, hey, this age thing, it needs an index. Let me go ahead and build one.
Okay.
So you don't need to think about making an index for age. You might not care about name. Name doesn't need an index, but age you decided does need one, because every index you add adds a bunch of complexity to the background, because you have to duplicate everything. So you decided age is worth having an index. I marked it with index, and now I want to be able to index it. That won't work in this world because I have to specify like the index here. If I don't specify the index there, this doesn't know what age is. Does that make sense? However, in this version of it, I do have that functionality where you can say, hey, this cursor is indexed, but that only works for regular properties. It does not work for computed properties. Computed properties have to do a whole bunch more baloney to get that working. And if I want it to be a direct index, which is faster and more performant at the expense of disk space, I need to specify this here anyways. And I can't even save these two things because they're actually subtly different type. Like this one is some indexed, whereas this one is any indexed, for very frustrating reasons. So I'm trying to play with all these different puzzle pieces to see how I can get it to work with the Swift type system in a way where I don't have to type a bunch of stuff for every new project that I start. I want it to be simple and nice. And it's currently not simple and nice, and it's making me mad every time I need to use it. Oh, and I noticed that I made a mistake because there's no, like, double checking happening. Like, this should be season, and I wrote universe.
I hear a lot of stuff that you're saying, but
And none of it makes sense.
I'm not entirely sure what the problem is.
Okay. I want universe ID to be indexed. Universe ID lives inside of series.
So you want it to be indexed by using your @index, but in some cases, in order to do that, you have to create an index. You have to create one of those data store index, and it's repetitive.
Yeah, it's
Is
very
that what the
repetitive.
problem?
It's very easy to make mistakes. Notice, like, before I copy and
Because you
pasted
have
this.
to write that whole thing,
Yeah, like here I copy pasted this one. I did
then
not
you
even
didn't
notice
change
that
it.
I got the thing wrong.
and you didn't change it.
Mhm.
Okay. And why can't you just use @index?
Because it only works for these. It does not work for computer properties. Computer properties, I have to write this gobbledygook.
Okay.
And then all of this gobbledygook. When all I wanted to write was this.
Right, but you
That's all I
just
wanted.
need to write line 48 and 49 once, though, right? And then you could just use.
And again here. And if I wanted to change something, then once again, it's easy
but
to
for
shoot myself in the foot.
For every item that you want it to be indexed, you just need to write that line once, and then you can then just use that variable, no? Or am I wrong?
You are wrong, because not only do you have to write this,
Every single time.
you also need to write this, and you also need to write this every time you want to access it. So I'm able to simplify that
Okay.
part away to just season ID, but now I'm making mistakes because I set that up. And if I want to add another index, then I'm setting myself up for failure ahead of time the next time around. Does that make sense? It's not seamless.
Okay.
There's lots of paper cuts along the way.
And all of this is made impossible because of the way the API is written, or because what? Like, what did you do to get to this point that you can't go back and just fix?
Well, I can. I can take a completely different approach. I can get rid of the automatic @indexed machinery.
No, but we want the automatic.
It's nice. It's convenient, right?
And it's short. We get
But
it.
it doesn't work.
Because it's a computer property, and it's because the system doesn't let you use it on computer properties.
What am I doing? So, here's a dummy that I'm setting up. You no longer write @index. All you do is you specify ahead of time a list of all your indices.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing, right? Instead of marking it here, you mark it here. Except this one will work for computer properties.
Okay.
Like, give me a fictional computer property. Var,
Genre.
okay, and what type is genre?
A string.
Okay, and let's just go ahead and say that the genre is name plus age. Okay, nice little string. If I wanted an index for this now, I just have to duplicate this
Yeah, and replace it with genre.
and replace it with genre. And already this is much better because that's all I needed to do.
Right.
Now,
and
if
then
I
now
want to
you can
access the
do-
genre,
Yeah, you just do that.
I can say 3, this has to be a genre, and now it's going to complain, hey, 1 is not a
Right, 'cause
genre,
you need a string.
and I can specify hello. And now it's happy.
Right.
So already this is kind of way better.
Uh-huh.
And then
So,
in
so
my
why aren't you doing this?
because I didn't do it the first time around, and now I'm exploring it. Because I was enticed by that idea of using the property wrappers to make it kind of automatic,
Yeah.
right?
You can't always have everything, right?
I cannot.
Yeah, niece agrees. Your foot is in that box. You're learning about computer engineering for babies? Brought to you by, I forgot, who wrote it? Chase Roberts.
Clicking the
2022.
buttons.
Yeah. For this one, you have to do both. You have to push both buttons. She knows to position her hands on both the buttons, but she doesn't know to push them both at
yeah.
the same time.
She's still figuring it out. Little brain solving big problems.
It's a complicated problem.
It is. We take it for granted.
Okay, back to your problem.
Back to my complicated self-inflicted problem.
I think it's solved, no?
You solved it. Easy.
I mean, I now understand what the problem is, so I think it's more or less solved.
Okay. Let's take this idea further. This would need an initializer in it, and it would take, hey, here are my indexes, and the indexes is going to be an array of these guys. Data store index of item any. Okay, and then here I would say indexes, and I would list out all my indexes.
You want the ball? Ooh, you're standing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Both the cats are sleeping right now, though. Ethan and Sesame are sleeping right now. They're not gonna. They won't chase that ball.
Okay.
Hold it.
This I would still now need
Sit
to
down. Can you sit down? Let's sit down. Sit down. Ooh, yeah. Let's sit down.
type that, which I can't do.
Here, sit here. Where's your box?
Okay, so back to square one. To get this one working, we'll also need a key path. So let's try putting that in here. And then maybe we use a partial key path. Partial. Okay, so that type erases. No, that doesn't type erase. Nothing.
What are you trying to do right now?
Okay, so now onto the second half of the problem. I
Yeah.
need to be able to specify all the indices at the beginning to say, like, hey, make sure these are indexed. I would love to be able to say dot age, dot
Yeah, just lift them all
genre.
out at once.
Yeah,
But you can't.
without needing to specify a whole sentence for these. Because currently, once again, if I were to jump to Safari, jump to real code, I have to specify like these long things, which is less than ideal. So let's explore this a tiny bit more. We're always getting that.
But since you're not able to do that, how are you solving
Yes,
that?
and well, we're figuring it out. Okay, so this is an index. Let's say I have a protocol index type protocol. Excellent, and all we really care about is an associated type called an item.
What's an associated?
An associated type lets you use that protocol information. So here we can go ahead and specify.
We both sneeze. Yeah, I sneeze too. Ugh. No.
Use of protocol as a type must be written as any. Okay, so now I'm getting into the same baloney as before. Okay, so this needs to be a class.
I know, I'm getting the sniffles. Sniffles.
And then this needs to be a class, which is a subclass of that. Okay. Now,
You're hurting me.
this is an array of key paths.
You're hurting me.
So I should be able to say dot age dot genre. And now I'm back at the same problem that I have.
What's
We can't automatically convert from this, which is a key path leading to a data store index, to this, which is a key path leading to an index type protocol. And I inadvertently broke
Yeah, you're kicking me.
all of these things, which might just be because we don't know what this is. Yeah, okay, maybe that's still fine. Okay, so let's use variadic generics. So here we can say I guess this can be protocol.
That's right.
And this can still be a struct.
Hold on, give me a minute. I know. Okay. Roll over.
Okay.
Oh, let's leave Keaton low. Let's leave Keaton be. Oh, let's leave Keaton, yeah? Yeah, let's let Keaton sleep. No, let's let Keaton sleep. Yeah, Keaton is taking a nap. Let her sleep, yeah? She wants water? Here you go. Oh. You're being silly.
Generic parameter index shadows generic
Okay, we'll leave it here.
index type. Let's just do that. Okay. Maybe this works.
You're trying to give Keaton your water? She's sleeping.
Cannot store values of type. Oh yeah, you're doing stuff on the phone, aren't you?
Chaos. Chaos is what's going on.
Let's lock that. You're so good at using cell phones already, and
She
you're
really
only
is.
not even a year old.
She really is. She like swipes left and right. She opens apps. She does searches.
Oh my goodness, what are you eating?
Ever since I started wearing my watch, there's always a workout running.
Oh yeah, she loves grabbing and touching the watch.
Yeah.
I can guarantee that.
You're hitting Puppy while you're hitting him. Don't hit Puppy.
Right. And Keaton, yeah, she's over there.
Keaton is sleeping, yeah? Keaton! Here, let me play with some of your
Okay, so what is wrong here? Cannot convert value of type key path test indices test type string to test type int. Okay, and that makes sense because I didn't do the variadic thing. But I don't know how to do the variadic thing. hack reference. Okay. Repeat. Did I do it right? No. Maybe there's no repeat. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe hit repeat.
I don't know what you're doing either.
Oh. Okay, that seems to work. And that seems to work. Oh, glory.
Glory.
And then let's just make sure that we can have other indexes.
What are we doing, young lady? Let's go explore. It's open. No problem with it now. No trouble Close the door. You pull those out. You pull out the rattle.
And then these will be reference index. Huh, okay. Okay, so that gives me what I kind of want. So that means at initialization time, I can just specify a list of indices that I want. Let's just make sure that
What's in the treasure box? Penguin.
there can be mixed types just fine. And that allows me to have different kinds of indexes. So I can have the regular one, I can have many to one index, which takes a value, an array of values. Okay, so now if I have something silly like that, I can still have nationalities. so that fails. But if this is a 1, many to 1, and that works. Okay, I think I'm really liking this. So now I can have different kinds of data store indices. I can have like a regular one that's just for a value. I can have a many to one index, which can be an array of values. So here our test type might have multiple nationalities, and we want to be able to find this object for whichever one of those nationalities we specify, which we can now. So we can just specify one value, French, and it will still take this and do the right thing, and be able to filter those things out. So
what
this,
did you write just now? The whole thingy at the bottom.
the many to one.
No, is that what you just wrote?
I added two things. So I added this type that marks the kind of index, and the difference here is instead of a single value, this is an array of values, but it's keyed on the single value. So if you were to specify something here, you specify just one thing, not an array of things. And then the second half is right here, where instead of specifying a key path to a data store index, we're specifying a key path to a many to one index. And this allows us to go ahead and like have different functionality. So this one will go ahead and do that special type of search across like a larger index.
Are you confused too?
Yeah, I'm giving her a headache.
We're going through the treasure box, aren't we?
Goodness, so many treasures.
Treasure! Her foot,
That's her third hand.
she's always resting it on top of something.
We were told not to use our feet like hands, but we're not telling her that, so she's learning. Soon she shall be climbing trees like a little monkey.
That's not a cup, silly.
It looks like a cup, it acts like a cup, but there's no water. 1 star.
Oh, she's been drinking her bath water. Every time I put her in the bath, she would go bend over and just start slurping. And I'm like, don't do that.
Soapy.
No, that's before it gets soapy. It's like when it's clean and she just went in. Oh, is your toucan not running? Toucan's on. Toucan's not on. Do you want me to turn on the toucan? Should we turn it on? Is it okay with the feet? No.
No comment.
But they said no toucan for you. Yeah, we're done. Let's tidy up, huh? Let's put the stuff back in the box. Can you help me put the stuff back? Can you hand me that one? Yeah, let's put it back in the box. Where is it? Give it to me.
Okay.
Put this back in the box for them. 我要同出來。
What's wrong? What's
gorgeous?
wrong?
What is my going on, my gorgeous? Okay, you want me to here?
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum.
That's water. Water.
You want boba too? No. Craving it.
We can get it delivered.
But not from that distance.
Get that boba time.
I don't want boba time. I want the good stuff. I guess you can get boba time. I'll partake too. Yeah, Keaton. That's Keaton's butt. Oh no, actually it's her back. Yeah, you can pull Keaton's back hairs. Just don't grab at her butt. Yeah, Keaton's shedding. That's Mommy's phone. What are you gonna do? Yeah, it's dead. Dead phone. That's my computer. Oh, there goes the computer. No. Oh, there goes the screen.
You know what I want?
What?
Tancha. Oh, what happened to the screen?
It's technical difficulties.
She broke the screen. One tancha, their brulee Thai tea.
Oh right, yeah. That was good.
Yeah. You keep wanting to go on camera. Hi, puppy. Hi, puppy. Puppy. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Can you tap, tap? Tap, tap. Tap, tap.
Oh, she
Yeah,
can
tap,
slap.
tap.
No tapping, just 100% energy.
100% energy.
Keep that. Okay. Oh, don't.
Oh, Keaton, you hurt Keaton? You hurt
Yeah.
Keaton?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, let's leave Keaton alone. She's terrified of you.
Oh my goodness. That's a claw full of fuzz.
One claw. She's grabbed many claws full of fuzz already. Poor Keaton. Keaton's sleeping too.
Just getting her
Keaton, you okay?
back fuzz pulled.
Mm.
Getting a waxing courtesy of niece.
Yeah, we need to be gentle with Keaton. Huh? She's afraid of you. She's fighting out of my grip here. Oh, let's leave She likes stealing that too.
If you pull your finger away, she goes back for it. It's like, I'm not done.
Me.
Where are you going? You can't come closer than this. Nope.
I don't want you on camera, kiddo. Let's go. Oh yeah, let it go. Keaton.
Chaos.
Every day with a child is chaos. Oh, you gonna do some sit-ups with me? Sit-ups, yeah? Okay, you gotta sit up. Sit up. Okay, sit up. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Goodness.
So hard to do sit-ups.
With a child on the chest. You're supposed to put her at your feet. Then she holds your feet. We talked about this.
No, leave my glasses alone. I can't see without them.
But she can't see you with them.
We're distracting Puppy from working.
Yep, I'm getting nothing done.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I solved my big problem, I think. So now I just need to put hours and hours into changing everything over.
Which should be easy enough. I mean,
Yeah,
the
totally.
hard part, no, the hard part is figuring out how to solve things, right?
The easy part is coming up with a game plan that you think works. The hard part is executing that, because then you realize of all the ways that it's not going to work.
But you already got that step, right? Now you're just...
I think I got that step. I didn't actually do it though.
Well, this is your fault for saying, let me code while the child is awake.
Oh. It's the only time that other people are awake.
She put all her weight on my sternum.
Oh, who needs a sternum? Like, give me access to that sternum.
Right? That's called a sternum, right?
Yeah, probably. I didn't go to medical school for a reason.
Me neither.
Ethan, yeah.
My goodness, I can't hold you any longer. Must keep child away from cat. Cat is terrified. Here, let's learn how to code. Let's code with Papa.
Okay. What are any of these tests doing? Okay, we want to encode
What's your ball? The ball maker thing?
that. Tries putting the large balls at the top and it just doesn't fit.
It just gets stuck. Yeah, these ones don't. But these ones are slightly smaller, so they roll, and when they get to the bottom, they'll just bounce off. You want to play with the ball in here? Here you go. Out of nowhere, you woke up and you just knew how to do this.
Yeah, that's how brains work, I guess.
Literally, like she just woke up one day and she's like, I can now.
Oh, that was a big handful.
Keep
Keaton, are you okay? Oh my goodness, yeah. Keaton, are you okay? That was a big handful of fuzz that got yanked from your butt. I'll give you scratches. Yeah, nothing bad ever happened. It's all okay. Just like, can I make noise with these? Yes, I can. Slam. Okay, here. Index next protocol is indexable. Indexable is anything that we can use as an index. Okay. Hi. Happy? Oh, so excited. Get that. Snack time. Oh, Dad, don't. Get that.
Here,
Oh,
niece,
don't.
niece, you wanna shake your bottle? Yeah.
As you drag her away.
Shake, 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 shake. Yeah, I know. You like these.
And off she goes. Okay. So this thing, this is our property wrapper, which we won't need anymore. Yeah, we won't need the property wrapper anymore because we can use this new method of doing it, which involves just specifying the types of indices we want here and then directly using them here. It'd be really nice if you can like just use them, I guess. Should we try? Yeah, I don't think we can use one of. Yeah, I think this is the best we can do. Specify the index again and get our value out of it. Okay. Okay, so this will replace this. Okay, that's one thing taken care of. We no longer need this. Yeah, because we're no longer introspecting. That can stay there. Index type.
What's gonna
Oh, your milk is coming.
Come.
You have to shake it.
Okay, lie down. Yeah.
Wait, roll away.
Ugh.
There you go. Can you hold it?
Where's your bottle? Where's your bottle?
It's like I am holding it. It's staying right there. My hand's at a spot.
What time is it?
It is 1:56.
I'm gonna hold it for you. Lie down. Yes, lie down. Down. Yes, good eye. I know. Lie down.
I just saw Pizza Hut.
Tap the top and then it'll go up. Don't get tempted.
I know.
Oh, you didn't eat much today, huh?
I didn't eat diddly squat.
You had more breakfast. Sneeze.
It's okay. I'm going to bed soon.
Why do you keep popping up? Lie down, please. Too many distractions. Can you please lie down? Can you please lie down? I know you're hungry.
Okay. Thanks.
It's not that. It's just...
She's used to anime at this hour. What can we say?
Yeah, normally the TV's on when she's drinking.
There's TV. Look at all the code. It's so fascinating.
You gotta move the screen.
No, I'm gonna make everyone
Move the
dizzy.
cursor.
I'm gonna get the cats to chase it. Okay. We want to keep this because this is our range checks. We want to keep this because that's what we actually use. We want to keep this because it represents what the index is. We're getting rid of this. We are getting rid of this. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. The DataStore descriptor has a bunch of index descriptors, and we need to build an index descriptor from the thing that got passed in. Okay, we have the version, we have the name, and we somehow have the type. How do we get the type? Index descriptor. So if we have this, which gives us the index type. Sample instance. Where is this sample instance coming from? I guess it's on the first. Yeah, it must be on the first thing you ever commit to the data store. It uses this to calculate a bunch of information about it. This.
What does the data store do?
So the data store is an object that basically manages a bunch of files on disk to store your millions of entries. So instead of having an array of a million things, and then when you want to save it, you pass that to JSON encoder, and then that gets saved as a single file in one go that can potentially take a ton of time to generate. the data store will go ahead and keep most of the objects in a file, and you never really access them until you say, hey, I'm interested in an object with ID XYZ, and then that will go ahead and look up the right file for that object and then give it back to you. Cat hair. So yeah, I'm trying to make sure that the new way of doing things that we just figured out will work if I were to staple it in, so to say. And this part should, because we can just specify all those index paths. You okay?
You're done?
Ethan is still here.
Where's Keaton? That's the phone. That's the phone.
That's my phone. You're like, this phone's a different color. What's going on there? Oh. Don't go any further. Don't go any further. Yeah, sing it. Does the phone taste yummy? Good thing they're waterproof. Some remotes in the house. Those ones were not waterproof. Okay, so this will need to change, but this will work. Excuse me.
No. Let's leave Keaton alone. Keaton's sleeping. My goodness, you.
So, the sound of, it's not really frustration or anger, it's just happiness.
No, she's having
That's
fun.
what happiness sounds like.
She's having fun.
It's just loud. Loud happiness.
Loud screechies. Well, she discovered her voice.
Yeah, now we're popping. We changed the channel. Oh no, back to the other channel. Here, niece.
Discovering your voice. Move your hand. You're gonna get this one. Your face is so red. What happened? Is it because...
We're shaking our oil bottle. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it.
Distract you enough so this will try.
Oh wait.
Where's Keaton? Where's Keaton?
Keaton's no longer a Keaton. She has a bottle now. Oh, we said Keaton, now she wants Keaton. Keaton, yeah. Oh my goodness.
You want to shake this one? Shake that one. This one's heavy. This one's heavy. Oh yeah.
And it's your water
all
bottle.
over your face. Sorry. Sorry.
Oh goodness. Yeah.
Keaton's
sleeping, yo.
You hear us talking, so you're like, I want to talk too.
You guys sleeping, yo.
Wait.
You gonna throw blue on my hand?
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Ah, yeah. Tap, tap, tap. There you go. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap. You're distracting, but you didn't do
Ethan.
anything for the past
I did stuff. I thought hard.
I thought about how the kids
Yeah, I wrote 65 lines over and over and over again. They're in a happy place though now.
Look at that. Oh my goodness.
I'm mostly trying to figure out what I will do next time, so that way I have like a clear path forward and I can just execute. Because that's always the hardest thing, is to know what the next step is.
Want to read a book? Let's read a book.
Okay, let's make a to-do list.
Let's read a book.
Okay. We need to update the data store access methods. We need to add new index types. We need to add the new index types. We need to update the data store access methods. Probably last. The data store descriptors. Update the initializers. Remove the inspection. Update the data store descriptor, update the initializers, remove the introspection. I think that will get all of it. I also want to have new generic top level persistence types. And that's so that way the generic signature doesn't look so crazy.
Oh yeah. Go, 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 go. Let's not use the book. Except for reading.
Now I'm curious. I wonder if can this be, you know, no. Who needs a mummy?
Goodness.
Murder the mummy.
Get off me. Yeah, I got my freaking pen. Ow. She's like kneeing me in the face.
That's what happens.
Please get off me.
Need help?
Get off me.
The sound of suffering.
You just pulled down Robogun. Robogun just got pulled down. Oh no, we don't want to gank on that. We don't want to gank on that. Yeah. Put that back. It needs charging. Needs to charge.
Shrink.
Put it back. I need to put that back so I can. This needs to charge, okay?
I think that should do it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I don't know when I'm gonna tackle this again, but
Never.
I have a game plan. And yeah. Maybe I can do this again next week. Maybe I can't. Who knows? It's a baby schedule. But thanks for hopping by.